Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I'm going to do my best to, so you can catch the game, but we've got Shabbat to have first. So we're going to open up our hearts to prayer with Ashrei on page 52. Ashrei Yoshvei Beitecha, Od Yehalelucha Selah. Ashrei Yoshvei Beitecha, Od Yehalelucha Selah. Ashrei, Ashrei, Ashrei Yoshvei Beitecha. Ashrei, Ashrei, Ashrei Yoshvei Beitecha. Happy are those who dwell in your house. They will sing your praises forever. Happy are those who dwell in your house. They will sing your praises forever. And now to light our Shabbat candles, I would like to invite up our Oneg families, Ethan and Anthony and Kay, right? Is that the Amber Alert again?
Yes.
The blessings can be found on page 120. Amen. We continue on pages 138 and 139 to welcome in the Sabbath bride. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. 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 Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, Hishmi'anu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad, u'shemo echad, l'shemo tiferet ve'litila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki hi mekor habracha, merosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'ase b'machshavat tchila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Hitorari, kiva orech kumi uri, shir daberi, kevod Adonai alayich nigla. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam besimcha uvetzola, toch emunei am segula, boi chala. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. You may be seated. And now we are ready to segue into our evening service with the Chatzi Kaddish on page 144. Yitkada v'yitkadash shemei rabba, ve'alma divrach yirtei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon v'yomechon, uv'chayetecho beit Yisrael, bagala, uvizman kariv, ve'imeru amen. Yehesh merabba mevarach, le'alamul al me'amaya, yidbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yit'ale v'yithalal, shemei dekudesha b'richu. Leila min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma, ve'imeru amen. Are you all ready to pray for real now? All right, call to worship, page 146. Yai da 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 yai da 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 da, yai da 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 yai da 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 da, yai da 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 da, yai da 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 da, yai da 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 yai da 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 da, yai da 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 da, yai da 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 da, yai da 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 yai da 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 da. Barechu et Adonai hamevorach, Baruch Adonai hamevorach, hamevorach le'olam va'ed, hamevorach, hamevorach le'olam va'ed. You may be seated. Page 149, at the very bottom. I know that the tide is not an independent force, but merely the submission of the water to the movement of the moon in its orbit. And this orbit in its turn is subject to other orbits which are mightier far than it. And so the whole universe is held fast in the clinging grip of strong hands. The forces of earth and sun, planets and comets, galaxies, blindly erupting forces ceaselessly, stirring in ripples of silence to the very depth of black space. Page 150. Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu b'shachbenu, uvkumenu nasiach bechukecha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, uv'mitzvotecha leolam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu, ve'orech yameinu, uvahem negei yomam v'layla, v'ahavatcha al tasir, mimenu leolamim, Baruch ata Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Pages 152 and 153 are the Shema, followed by the Ve'ahavta. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha uvechol nafshecha uvechol meotecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinatam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'derech uv'shachbecha uv'kumecha uv'shartam le'od al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha uchtavtam al mizuzot beitecha uvihisharecha leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kedoshim Elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim v'hiyot lachem Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem. You may be seated if you are standing. Page 157. We read responsively. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth.
The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love.
From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way.
Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces.
Though our failings are many and our faults have been great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed.
Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then we shall rejoice on the shores of the sea.
Mi chamocha bailim Adonai, mi kamocha neder bakodesh, nora tehilot osefele, nora tehilot osefele, malechutecha ra'u vanecha bokei ayam, lifnei Moshe u'Miriam ze'eli, anu ve'ameru Adonai, yimloch le'olam va'ed, mi chamocha bailim Adonai, mi kamocha neder bakodesh, nora tehilot osefele, nora tehilot osefele. Baruch atah Adonai Ga'al Yisrael. Page 160. Hashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomrenu l'chaim, ufros aleinu sukat shelomecha, v'taknenu be'etza tova milfanecha, v'hoshi'enu lema'an shemecha. Hashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomrenu l'chaim, ushmor tzeitenu uvo'enu l'chaim u'l'shalom, me'ata ve'ad olam, ve'ad olam, ufros aleinu sukat shelomecha, sukat shelomecha. Baruch atah Adonai haporeh sukat, shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Page 162. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam, oti le'olam. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz, v'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. On page 164, we come to the tefillah. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Eternal God, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'konei hakol, v'zocher chasdei avot v'imahot, u'mevii geula livnei v'neihem, le'ma'an shemo be'ahava, melech ozer u'moshia u'magen. Baruch atah Adonai, magen Abraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, mechaye hakol atah rav lehoshia, Mashiv haruach umorid hagasham, Mechakel chayim bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim lerofeh cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha ba'al hevurot, Omido melach, melech memit umechaye, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman atah lahachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, mechaye hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah, Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. You may be seated, and we continue together on the very bottom of page 173. The meaning of Shabbat is to celebrate time rather than space. 6 days a week, we live under the tyranny of things in space. On Shabbat, we try to become attuned to the holiness of time. It is a day on which we are called upon to share in what is eternal in time, to turn from the results of creation to the mystery of creation, from the world of creation to the creation of the world. Page 175. You are with us in our prayer, our love and our doubt, and our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levadcha b'yirah na'avod. Page 177. When we behold your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars that you set in place, what are we humans that you are mindful of us, we mortals that you take note of us? You made us little less than divine, adorned us with glory and majesty. You gave us dominion over your handiwork, laying the world at our feet. How majestic is your name throughout the earth. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'el lehodot. Page 178. Shalom Rav, Vayisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon, l'chol hashalom. V'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael, b'chol eit uv'chol sha'a bishlomecha. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Tasim leolam. Baruch atah Adonai hamivarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom. We take a moment now for silent prayer. Yehiyu leratzon imrefi vehegyon libi lefanecha Adonai tzuri Adonai tzuri Vegali. May the words of our mouths and the meditations of our hearts be acceptable to you, Adonai, our rock and redeemer. We turn our thoughts now to those who are ill or injured and in need of healing. Page 371 for the Misha Berach prayer. And we have on our list today Mary Kennedy, Rosalind Cantu, Sharon Buell, Mike Haug, Lori Perry, Nick Joliot, Bernard Strassner, Fran Warona, Ariel Batisluva, Gail O'Neill, Rhoda Wessler, Marian Finkel, Skip, Kathy, and Jeffrey Brace, George Balthazar, Harvey Goldstein, Robin Callahan, Ernie Weissman, and Ricky Grant. If anyone else has a name they'd like to share at this time, please do so. The Misha Berach is on page 371, and we hold in our thoughts all those in need of healing of mind, body, and spirit. Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Le'imotenu. May the source of strength who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha La'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. We also hold in our thoughts all those who are active military duty, first responders, and peacekeepers, those around the world whose jobs are dangerous so that our lives might not be. We have on that list, Janet Ingraham, Patrick Carlton, Oni Hinnanen, Joshua Ehrlichman, Martin Brown, Richard Rubino, Howard Mergler, Kyle Smet, Andrew Booth, Joseph Cald, Daniel and Bridget Stambowski, many members of the Nemero family, Pete Abelson, Jeremy Sharkey, Benjamin Hurd, Alexander Furman, Daniel Gilman, Curtis Miller, Rob Apgar, Ben Farrell, Caleb Menzies, Francis Petraka, Noah Kaplan, and all those in the armed services and on the ships at sea that tune in and watch us from our live stream. May the one who blessed our fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and our mothers, Sarah, Rebecca, Leah, and Rachel, bless those who are serving in our armed services. May God guard them and keep them from harm. If they find themselves in danger's path, may God bring them back whole of mind and body to all those who love them. May it be your will, Adonai Tsevaot, to lead them to safety and to protect them from each and every enemy and ambush. May God make their journey successful and guard their going out and coming in with mercy and love, and let them be blessed to return home with life and peace, now and forever. And let us say, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. If I paid attention to sports news, I maybe would have tried to write some kind of baseball metaphor for this week's sermon, but that's like way over my head. So, this week's Torah portion is Parshat Bereshit, the first portion of the new cycle of scriptural readings, the beginning of the whole thing, and by thing I mean universe. The first two chapters of Genesis tell a slightly different story. Each tells slightly different stories of how the world and everything in it came to be. Most notable is the discrepancy in the telling of how humans are created. In the first chapter, God says, on the sixth day, "Let us make mankind in our image. They shall rule the fish of the sea, the birds of the sky, the cattle, the whole earth, and all the creeping things that creep upon the earth." And then the Torah continues, "And God created humankind in God's image. In the image of God, God created it. Male and female, God created them. God blessed them and said to them, be fertile and increase. Fill the earth and master it." Then chapter 2 starts off as though it were a continuation or culmination of this version of events, but then verse 4 starts a new telling in which man is created first, and then the plants and such are brought up in the garden around him, and woman appears to be an afterthought all the way down in verse 22. And whereas in chapter 1 we are told simply that God created, in much the same way that God said, "Let there be light," and then there was light, it appears that humankind seems to be similarly spoken into existence. Yet in chapter 2, we are told exactly how man and woman are each created. Because of the vagueness of the wording in each telling, one student at Gesher a couple years ago drashed that there really is no discrepancy. Chapter 1 tells the macro view of creation, and chapter 2 includes the details of how and why and more of God's inner monologue. I found that a compelling explanation. Another possible explanation from a different Gesher student that year was that the first two humans were created agender and asexual, the way fetuses are formed with all the same things at first in the womb, and the sex characteristics don't form until closer to birth and then don't really develop until puberty. So these first two people in Bereshit only begin to develop those genders and sexual identities as they develop their personalities and truly become man and woman, or Adam and Eve. And that midrash that this student came up with is actually not so different from one of the classical ones from the rabbis, which posited that the first human was essentially a man and a woman stuck together back to back, like an intersex version of the Roman god Janus, with the two faces. And then later they were split into two people of separate genders. The official academic and historical explanation is that chapter 1 was most likely written in the early Israelite days in Canaan, when our ancestors were influenced by the goddess cults of the land. And chapter 2 was probably written in the first exile, when our ancestors were influenced by the more patriarchal pantheon of Babylonia. They were likely combined in the Second Temple period, and editors over many generations made attempts to smooth out inconsistencies, but some details snuck through and made it into the Masoretic texts, which set our biblical canon we've known for over 1,000 years. My favorite midrash on this, though, is the creation of Lilith. There are many stories about Lilith, varying thoughts about her historical origins and visions of her as a demoness, a sympathetic victim, a feminist icon, a mother, a baby killer, a licentious creature that mates with demons, centaurs, and satyrs, a tender lesbian lover, a crone, a seductress. We will talk more about all of that on Sunday at the adult breakout group during our fantastic Jewish Beasts event. And we will read the Alphabet of Ben Sira, the earliest written Lilith story that is written as a Bereshit midrash. In that midrash, it explains that on the sixth day of creation, God created Adam and Lilith together because they were created simultaneously, both out of the dust of the earth. Lilith thought they should be equals. Adam did not like that, and they fought. So Lilith summons the magical powers by saying aloud the ineffable name of God and vanishes from the garden. God tries to compel her to go back, but she will not, and so God condemns her to have hundreds of babies a day, maybe demon babies, unclear, and for 100 of her children to die daily. Then God sets about making a new, more subservient mate for Adam. More stories spin out from this one, and there is academic speculation about the oral stories that inspired this written tale, but that's all the detail we get written down for this midrash. And this midrash dates to around the end of the first millennium CE, so like 10th century-ish. 9th century, 10th century. Yeah, okay. I had to do that math. All right. In a book I read this week called Witch Lilith, one of the contributing writers points out that this story starts out sympathetic to Lilith, understanding that maybe this is simply a broken relationship of two incompatible people, and it doesn't really need a villain. Adam and Lilith aren't meant to be married. But then the punishment for Lilith exerting her free will is so dramatic that it seems we are meant to understand her as villainous, thus connecting this first woman to a pre-existing ancient Near Eastern demoness and inspiring further tales of her frightening existence. There are so many layers to Lilith's mythos, and so many voices we know are missing from the traditions, from the historical records, that it is very difficult to truly comprehend what we are meant to glean from this midrash. And variations of this midrash are so pervasive that it is also hard to understand the differences between Genesis 1 and 2 without inserting this other woman in there somehow. All midrash is meant to be a window into an ancient and fairly incomprehensible text. The Tanakh is filled with stories that lack significant details as well as bits of conflicting information. We need midrash to help us make sense of these things. The classic midrash helps significantly. We revere our ancient and medieval rabbis who set the tone for modern Judaism, and we trust their wisdom almost as much as we sacralize the Tanakh itself. Their stories can offer us satisfactory explanations or can open new questions that allow us to get deeper into our own interpretations than we maybe would by only looking at the surface of the biblical texts. But they are also products of their time, just as much as the ancient scriptures were products of theirs. We see the influences of the time period and the influences of the ruling parties that the various rabbis lived under in different geographical locations at their time of writing. This is one of the many reasons that each Jew is encouraged to reinterpret the texts for themselves and to come up with new midrash in every generation. The Tanakh is a living document, and the Talmud has given us an open canon. It is best done with serious inquiry and sincere inspection of the voices that have been recorded before us, but it is available to all. The only rule of Midrash is that it cannot contradict information that is in the Tanakh. It can build on missing details, or fill in missing details and build on what is there. It can offer up dramatic tales that connect seemingly dissonant information. And it can most definitely contradict even the most popular classical midrash. People often think the story of Abraham smashing the idols is like part of the Torah. That's midrash. You could write a new midrash that completely throws that out the window because that's not in the text. What you couldn't do is offer some midrash that says, I can't think of something on my toes right now, but that like contradicts what it actually says Abraham did do when he follows God's word. With that being said, with that being the only rule, and with so much material to draw from, the Tanakh is our playground. Another thing occurred to me this week after I had already written this, and I couldn't figure out how to weave it in smoothly, but it's related. I was listening to a podcast called Judaism Unbound, and the guys were interviewing author Andrew Raymer on his recent book, Fragments of the Brooklyn Talmud. And it's set in the future as like these are found documents. So you're way in the future reading these documents that are from the beginning of the 22nd century. And the book sounds really interesting. I'm not going to get super in detail about what it all is, but that's the premise, that you're reading these like found documents, but they don't really exist, right? Because it's fiction. And in the podcast, one of the interviewers related this to the writing of the Zohar, which if you don't know, that's the like main book of Kabbalah. It's not the only book of Jewish mysticism, but it's the main thing that people are referencing when they talk about Kabbalah. And even though it was likely written in like the 16th century, it's ascribed to Rabbi Shimon from like the 8th century. And I always thought, like when I would study Zohar in school, in rabbinical school, I would think like, this is so silly. Like, why do people need to pretend like it's older than it is and like project this onto another rabbi that never said these things? But then in listening to the podcast, I thought like, what if the Ari meant for it to be fiction, like meant for this work to be something that connects to our Jewish heritage, but he never meant for it to be taken so literally, the same way Andrew Raymer is writing this Brooklyn Talmud book. And it totally changed the way I thought about these ancient texts that are projected onto other rabbis that didn't really say the things. So Midrash really can be a way to break through your own little boxes and get to the heart of Jewish texts in a whole new way. There's so much material to draw from. There's so many characters to play with like action figures. This is our playground. This is our centerpiece. We have so much room to interpret and create and recreate whole worlds. This Shabbat Bereshit, learn from the ultimate creator and build up something new from our ancient stories. And may you be blessed with creations varied and rewarding. Amen and Shabbat Shalom. We turn toward our concluding prayers, so I would like to invite back up Ethan and Anthony and Kay to open our ark for Aleinu, which is on page 598. No, sorry, 586. I did that the other day too. And Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol, lated gedula yotzer breshit, shelo asanu kogoye haratzot, velo samanu kemishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, vigor aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, Lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu, v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz, bayom hahu, yiyeh Adonai echad, Ushemo echad. You may be seated. We turn our thoughts now to those who are no longer with us in body, but remain with us in spirit. And so we're still within the year of mourning for Harold Herman, Abraham Finkel, Deborah Freelander, Donna Thatcher, Sophie Levy, Dean Atchley, Larry Washington, Roland Lane, Lori Gilbert Kay, Bernice Strassner, Peter Winkler, John Jenkins, Tony Gerisi, Scott King, Pat Burton, Alexandra Haley. And then this Shabbat, or this week, will mark a yahrzeit for Judith Aronson, Ethel Hallam, James Breeding, Jack O'Neill, Mildred Miller, and it will be the first yahrzeit for Irving Younger, Melvin Wax, Bernice and Sylvan Simon, Cecil and David Rosenthal, Jerry Rabinowitz, Rose Mallinger, Richard Gottfried, Joyce Feinberg, Daniel Stein, the 11 people murdered at their Shabbat service a year ago. So, I have a reading for them before we say the Mourner's Kaddish. But mourners and those who wish to rise may do so now as well. We rise for Pittsburgh. We rise as we conclude a year of mourning. 1 year ago, 11 people went to synagogue and never returned home. We rise to honor them. We rise in body, mind, and spirit. In every way we are able, we stand with the mourners, their families, their communities, and our community. We rise to stand with Pittsburgh and with Christchurch and with Poway and Colombo, El Paso, and Hale. We rise even as we continue to piece together our shattered hearts, and we know they are forever broken. We rise because when we are expected to cower, we will not. We rise because it is our only option in an unjust world. We rise because in an era of incitement to hate-fueled violence, we can puncture the darkness with fierce light and love. We rise because we are not alone even when we are singled out. We are stronger and safer when we stand together with all those who are oppressed. We rise because when fear threatens to close us off, we will challenge ourselves to open our minds, our hearts, and our arms. We rise because there are millions of people in need of safety and in search of freedom, and we will always stand for their rights and their dignity. We will flood the streets, the synagogues, the halls of Congress, the courtrooms with our voices, our values, and our demands for a more just and compassionate world. The world can only be repaired by connecting and building, not by destroying. And so, on the yard site of a day we will never forget, we rise in grief and in action, standing together against hate, united in our message of welcome and love. The Mourner's Kaddish is on page 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah be'alma divrach yirtei v'yamlich malchutei b'chaye echon u'v'yom echon u'v'chaye techol beit Yisrael ba'agala u'v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lalmei almaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh Vit hadar, vit ale, vit halal, shemei dekudasha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tush bechata v'nechemata. Da'amiran ba'alma v'imru amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim alenu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, Alenu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. You may be seated. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, imru, amen. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. V'imru, amen. A few announcements. I'll just say out of chronological order, but because it's related to this, to the Pittsburgh thing, on October 28th, that's Monday, that's this Monday, right? Yeah, this coming Monday, we are having a chat with the chief here at the temple, so it's an open session for anyone in Prince William County to come and ask questions of Chief Bernard, the chief of Prince William Police Department, specifically about like houses of worship security, but any kind of citizen concern is also welcome, but it's our opportunity to really make sure we know who's protecting us, and we set it for the date closest to the yard site of the Pittsburgh shootings, thematically, on purpose. So we are thinking about our own security in light of that. On a lighter note, this Sunday is our Fantastic Jewish Beasts, and we're in the text to find them. So at 11 o'clock, everyone is welcome to join us. There's regular Sunday school for the first part of the morning, and then at 11, there will be some kind of thematic snack that the Merglers are making. Excuse me, I have the hiccups today. The thematic snack, and then we'll break out into and we'll talk a little bit as a whole intergenerational group, and then we'll break out into our age-appropriate groups, so everyone will get to learn something about spooky Jewish folklore. Woo! Next week, Friday night is our next sing-along. Please RSVP if you are planning to attend. There were a couple months that I showed up and no one was here at 6:30, so I really want to know if you're going to be here. Then regular service at 7:30. Saturday morning, November 2nd, is our third or fourth annual Blessing of the Animals. So it's an outdoor Shabbat morning service, weather permitting. You are welcome to bring any pets that are safe to bring out of your home. Usually that's just dogs, but if you have a particularly friendly cat that can go on a leash, or like you want to bring your bunny in a cage or whatever, you do you. We will bless all of the pets. And then I think that might be it for the next couple weeks. Yeah, okay. Did I miss? No? Yeah, keep an eye on eKibitz. This Wednesday is book club, if you want to join us for that, 10:30 a.m. I'm pretty sure our calendar on the website is up to date. Check eKibitz, check Facebook, because you'll see if I missed anything. But I think we're coming to a close of this marathon run of programming. So we'll get a breather before Hanukkah and everything else starts up. All right. Our closing song is Ein Kelohenu on page 626. Ein Kelohenu, Ein Kadonenu, Ein Kemalkenu, Ein Kamoshienu, Michelohenu, Michadonenu, Michemalkenu, Michemoshienu, Nodel Eloheinu, Nodel Adonenu, Nodel Emalkenu, Nodel Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu, Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Please join us for Kiddush and Oneg. Sorry, Julia. It's